Hi, this is my second annotated bibliography. This one would be on the physical aspects because I got them backwards earlier. The first article that I'm taking a look at is called Say Goodnight, the Frequency of Adolescent Texting at Night. It was published in Sleep Health in 2015, and those are the researchers. Basically, in this study, the researchers worked to determine the amount of cell phone use, specifically texting, that teens are engaging in at night. They felt their study was important because there have been a lot of similar studies, but those studies they felt were problematic in two main ways. First, the study did not focus specifically on texting and communication, and these researchers found that to be problematic. And secondly, the studies relied on the self-reporting of the electronic communication. The researchers found that teens routinely over-exaggerate the amount of texts in order to feel more socially desirable to themselves, and as a result, tended to over-report the amount of texting that was going on. So this study focused only on the number and the time of text that were going out from the teen's cell phone and then collected this information from cell phone providers. That way it's completely objective. Some of the results that they found is that over 70% of teens sent at least one text after 10 p.m., despite the growing body literature that speaks to the importance of unplugging from all electronics at least an hour before bed. So they concluded that teens are on their phones to their detriment. A real strength of the study was the great lengths that they went to in order to design this objective study. Protocols were developed and followed to the letter. It would appear the researchers were not stretching their findings to fit their hypothesis, as they actually finished by saying that while their study was indicating a lot of nighttime cell phone usage, they were not actually able to draw a link between the cell phone usage and the sleep debt that many teens find themselves in. And they point out that other researchers should be examining that specific fact. A weakness that I found is the study only had 43 participants. Most of those were white, and most of those parents had at least a degree of post-secondary education of some sort. And I feel a more diverse pool of participants would have been advantageous. Just would have made it a bit more applicable to every teen, which is more of more interest to me. This, which of course fits directly into my research as I am examining the impact of technology on teens from both a physical and a mental standpoint. And this article, of course, gives valuable empirical data and insights into the teen texting habits, and that they are texting to their detriment. The second article that I took a look at was a internet diet aid study. So it was a controlled trial of an internet-based intervention for overweight teens. This is a study that took place in Portugal. And what the authors of the article are reporting on the outcomes of a trial that they had been putting together of an internet-based platform for controlling obesity in teens. The researchers worked with teens that were patients in an obesity clinic, and the researchers developed their study based on the findings of another study, which found there was an increase in positive behavioral changes with an increase in contact with the healthcare provider. The findings of the study was that while there was significant improvement in the physical activity and health responsibility of the participants, there really was not a lot of improvement of the actual weight control. One possibility they posited was that if the study had continued, there could have been an increase in the success of the participants who adhered to the program due to the increase in health responsibility. Another finding they found was that participants who received the program, and largely as a complement to the traditional medical weight loss program, had the most success overall. Um, from this, they posited that the web program it could not actually replace the contact with a healthcare provider, but used in conjunction with those regular visits could be very successful and could add a lot to the program. A real strength of the study that I thought was the careful thought that went into determining a lot of the how to structure the study, specifically the exclusion criteria. So a number of participants were excluded based on their lack of internet use or the fact that they were shortlisted for gastric bypass surgery or exhibited any sort of psychopathic problems, which could affect the results. So there was a real attempt to ensure that the study was not compromised. It also seemed to have a good number of participants. There were 94 participants in total, but when you take into account that half of those 94 would be the control group, which were not having access to the internet based diet aid. And the remaining 45 are then broken into two different sections, and then some of those did not adhere. The numbers of actual adherents begins to dwindle, and you're looking at somewhere in 12 to 20 actual adherents. So you're basing your whole study on the actions of those. Also, the study was performed in Portugal, and it is difficult to say if the results of this use and this dietary aid that worked well with some kids in Portugal, it can be extended to be applied to Canadian teens. The weakness of the study. The study was published recently in 2014. The study itself occurred in 2012, which in internet years and technology years, of course, as we know, is a long time. So a question could be raised, what is the point of this research when it is out of date so quickly? Would the study have had a lot more success if the program was designed on an app platform for smartphones, such as one like in MyFitnessPal or Livestrong, such as this? This article does fit into my research as it does offer insights into the possible impact that technology can have on teens. As the teens world really incorporates a lot of technology. They sort of bathe in the stuff. It does make sense a teen could well turn to tech for health advice more readily than adults might. Those are my two articles. They deal primarily, like I said, with the physical aspects of technology. And that's it. Thanks.